Hi, everybody. This is Mary with Conscious Communication at Work. I want to talk today about how to hear no as an expression of needs. You probably hear no's all the time at work, and sometimes I'm guessing it lands fine. But sometimes, however, if you're like most of us, you may have learned to respond with like a neutral, passive face on the outside, while inside feeling shame, insecurity, some other kind of blame in or blame out. So, for example, you want a pay raise, you go through all the hoops, you get denied. Your first two waves of thoughts, if you're normal, are likely to include some blame towards yourself, some sense of like, what did I do wrong? Either in terms of initial deservingness or in terms of process, and I should have taken these extra steps or whatever. So those would be kind of like the ways that blame in might look and sound, or it can be blame out. It can be, sort of like the fault of whoever it was that the decision maker, what they did or didn't take into consideration, how stupid they are, all that kind of thing, right? But in NVC, once you hear a no, the conversation isn't necessarily over. You ask for more feedback. And, really in any successful needs-based negotiation, when somebody says no, you can respond with curiosity. And that can be sort of an internal inquiry at first, but it ultimately can land or lead itself into something that's actual, explicit. So in your mind, you might think about like, well, what needs of theirs will go unmet if they say yes to my request? Or what needs are they protecting when they say no to my request? So get out that needs list and see if you can kind of identify a couple. Like one aspect of continually increasing your ability to listen is to practice hearing no as an indirect expression of needs. And so for anybody that, has an aversion to the word need, here's sort of like some colloquial ways. Here's some other ways that you can ask about this. You can say like, well, what do you care about most in this situation? Or sounds like there's something more important up for you about this. You mind saying what that is? What part of this doesn't work for you? What would work better for you? What gets in the way of you saying yes? Conscious communicators really strive. We call this hearing the yes behind the no. And we do this both to better understand the other person's needs, because we know if we make any additional requests that they're going to be more successful the more needs that they incorporate or include. But it also helps to keep us out of blame, which ironically is the one thing that we need to do often to stay in the conversation in a productive way. So if you dare, seek out a couple of no's. Yep, do it on purpose and try it out. What might be the yes that's up for somebody if they can't give you more support on your project, if they can't meet your deadline, if they don't want to have lunch today? Get out the needs list and see what you can do to make a translation, to make a guess. And then in some cases, that's that. It's just your own process. But in many cases, see what it might mean in terms of keeping a conversation going as appropriate. Like, okay, I got a no to that. What might be a different request that would kind of still help me out in whatever ways I need, but would take into account what's up for them? So hope that's helpful. I'd love for you to keep giving me input, giving me some questions that you have about any of these topics and any places where you run into snags. When I receive your emails, helps me know what you want more information about. So leave comments here on the post or join us in the Conscious Communication at Work group. And otherwise, have a great day.